doing every time I release a book, I like to try to do a couple of days of free.
Yep.
So if you have a Kindle and you don't need a Kindle reader, guys, just download the app from the Play Store if you have Android.
Now,
the App Store if you have the Apple operating system.
Right. Now you say that, right? And let's talk about that because we're going to talk about this.
Okay.
Because I mean, this is kind of exciting news,
right?
I mean, how many other, video podcasts have best-selling authors on them?
Oh, aren't you sweet?
Huh?
Us. Just us.
Just us. I think we might be the only one, right?
Well, no, actually, when I started the Author Chat show back in 2011, it popped off a lot of, often imitated, never duplicated.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right.
But they were podcasters.
They were, and I was a podcaster at that
But what
time.
are you now?
But now we are online content creators.
That's right. And with that being said, right here is the link for fantasylover.com, the Kindle edition. Right there. You just go Google it. And if I'm not mistaken, why did I just do that?
Uh-oh, what'd you do?
No, I clicked out of it.
Okay.
But I got it back up. I'm trying to find the link to it. If you scroll down, you can find the link. And it's right over there.
Okay.
So go right to it. I will actually give you the link. I will share it to our page.
Right.
Because it's in my email. I don't want to put my email up there.
So what did you think of that cover?
Listen, you showed me and the boys the cover the other day.
Right.
But let's read here because you gave a little synopsis of the book.
Okay.
Cynthia Reed drove through the streets of St. Louis like a madwoman, which I don't blame her because I would too. When she arrived at Madame Chang's psychic and mystic healing, she jumped out of her car, clicked the remote, locked the doors, and Madame Su Ling Chang met her at the door. What's wrong, Cynthia? Your aura is all black. Madame Chang asked. Cynthia collapsed at the small table where Madame Chang conducted her readings and let out a sob. That's all I'm going to give you because you don't need any more. Go to Amazon.com.
It's only available in Kindle. And again, if you do not have a Kindle reader, do not spend money to get a Kindle reader. I've been telling people
just spend the
$2.99. Well, yeah. Well, and also just download the free app.
Right.
There's a free Kindle app on the Play Store if you have an Android.
Correct.
And also, I think it's the App Store if you have the Apple operating system.
Yeah, because if you go and look,
right,
it says right there, Kindle free.
Right.
For the first week.
I've got it up there for like 3 days, I think.
Right, yeah.
4 days,
and then after that, it's $2.99.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So, I mean, how much more can you complain about?
Exactly.
And like I said, we will share the link over on our One Nation page.
Right.
And One Universal page. And you can find it right there.
Absolutely.
Which I'm doing that as we speak.
Okay.
Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it right here, too. Watch this, Linda.
All right.
What's this? Boom. So there. Well, no, I don't want to do that. Hold on.
Should take them right there, I think.
Yep, it should. But there you go. Oh, you know what? Because I got to move this over to do it. We got so much going on. It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
So right there, go and get Linda's book. Right there.
Now, I also have...
Well, now let's talk about the book.
Okay, we'll talk about the book.
Let's talk about the book a little.
Okay.
So you've written, this is your 13th.
I think this is number 13.
Right, number 13.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and your first series was the Invisible Enemy series that kind of just took off like wildfire.
It really did. It hit Amazon's bestsellers list, I think the second week.
Right.
That it went live.
Yep.
That was book one.
Mm-hmm.
And it stayed on there for a while.
Right.
It was on the free paid list, the first 100,
yep.
top 100, and then it went free on the paid top 100.
Correct.
And I think at that time it was number 1 or 2. It was really up there. It was amazing.
Right.
And Dirty, one of the things that I always like to tell people, especially about writing, this is what we call it, not only another source of income, another income stream, but it's also what we call residual income.
Right.
Now, I'm retired, so I can sit up and do this every day. So along with my monthly Social Security check, I'm gonna. And I told you,
I like how you say
I
that.
know, right? Because it's so great to be able to say it at 60, 61. But it's so one of the things that I've always been a huge proponent of,
Right.
is extra streams, multiple streams of income, and making sure that you kind of find a way to set up residual income.
Right. And you've talked about that on the
Absolutely.
show numerous times.
Absolutely.
Of stuff like that, about how people really should go get a residual income.
Exactly. And guys, people talk about multi-level marketing so bad,
Mhm.
with it's a pyramid scheme, this and that. Let me be real honest with you. Your biggest pyramid scheme is the company that you're currently working for.
Right. Yeah.
One of the reasons why, and Robert Kiyosaki, who I could always considered him one of my financial mentors, because I've
Mhm.
read all of his books. The man is just really a financial genius until he hooked up with Trump, but that's a whole nother issue.
No, we're not
Okay?
talking that.
No, we're not going to go there. But one of the things that he actually wrote a book telling people how to get out and start a job using a multi-level marketing,
Right.
because it actually really does teach you how to start your own business.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I had to learn, especially even with writing, now being an author is a very lonely profession, because Dirty was out of town. He was on his cruise. My roommate was out of town.
Right.
I had total silence, and I was able to really knock that buck out of the park that 1 week that you weren't gone, because
Right.
we normally talk almost every day, a couple of times during the
Yep.
day.
We do.
So I had to say, Dirty, I got to get back on my book. But it felt really good getting back into the swing of things with this book, because the last book that I actually wrote and released was in 2017.
Correct.
Which was the Beginner's Guide to
the pot stocks.
Yep, and U.S. pot stocks.
Yep.
Now, I had mentioned when I did the interview with Creatively Speaking,
Right.
and we're going to go ahead and make sure that we use her as our show, do
Mhm.
her thing as one of our sponsorships tonight. But I was going to go ahead and do volume 2 on that, because that came out before a lot of the other states, including the state of Missouri, where we're currently located, decided to give the okay for medical marijuana. And then you actually had the state of Illinois, which is literally right around the corner from where we are right now. Illinois is literally like, what, 5 minutes from here?
Oh God. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Where we're at.
Yeah.
From where we're at, 5 minutes.
5 minutes, exactly.
5 minutes.
Because we're right at 55 in Arsenal. Right?
You're yes,
Yeah,
absolutely
exactly.
correct. We are.
Creatively speak.
Okay. Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, I was just getting it. I was just
Okay.
getting it ready.
But so let's see, what was I saying? We were talking
About how close we were to Illinois,
right.
and you were
Oh.
talking about. Well, let's get to that because
with the pot thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
uh,
But here's the thing, before because I'll forget.
Mhm.
I don't have my ink pen. I don't know what I did with my ink pen. But Dirty. So I started, because I had mentioned on the interview that I was getting ready to really get book 2 out.
right.
And I've already got the stocks and stuff that I wanted to do. Got a brand new broker
Mhm.
that I'm using. But guess what? All of a sudden, the pot or cannabis stocks start crashing.
Right. That's what you were saying.
You know why they started crashing?
Because of the oversaturation
it is oversaturation. Absolutely.
in the market.
Exactly. And just think what's going to happen when other states in January, like the state of Missouri, will start their medical marijuana.
Right.
What is going to happen? So I think I'm going to hold off on that just to see where we go. And so there is another book after this one. This one just came out, the fantasylover.com.
Yep.
But I have another one that I'm also working on. That should be, hopefully I'll have that one done by the end of this month. Or the first week of November, because
Right, yeah.
we're already at November the 22nd, right?
So I mean, let's get back to the what's up, Wyatt? Let's get back to the pot
Hey,
stock.
Wyatt.
Let's
Okay.
get back to the pot stock one
Okay.
that we were talking
Hey,
about.
Sharonda and Jaretta.
What do I have right there in my way that's irritating me?
Uh-oh.
Oh, anyways. So you'd written and it was funny because I was talking to you about your pot stock book,
Okay.
and they said that's funny because my brother-in-law
Right.
is invested into the pot stocks.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about, and I was like, hey, I got a really good book for you. And I mentioned your book. He's like,
Okay.
oh, he goes, well, maybe to help me, because he goes, a lot of the stocks that I had has crashed.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about the oversaturation
Mhm.
of the market. And it's one of those things that you really don't see. Oh, you know what that is? That's the headphones.
Is that the headphones?
Mm-hmm.
Should I move it?
No, it's not the headphones.
No, 'cause this way.
It's your purse.
Oh.
I kept going, what is that? And
How's
then
that?
there you go.
Okay.
He
is so, I mean, persnickety.
Well, you yell at me and you're like, oh, look how good the studio looks now. And
Dirty has done such a fantastic job with the studio, guys. If you saw what it looked like when we come in here as opposed to what he actually puts on the screen, this man, you know.
well, that's why I
genius.
say, I mean, that's why it looks like she's sitting next to me, but she's
Right.
actually across from me. But, you know,
Exactly.
that's the joys of virtuality. But, you know, he was talking about the pot stocks and how they started crashing.
Exactly.
So I thought that was interesting. And so I was talking to you about it. And you're like, well, that was my next book.
Mhm.
And now it's crashed.
Right.
But let's get back to Fantasy Lover.
Okay,
new book,
fantasylover.com.
FantasyLover.com.
Mhm.
What was your meaning?
My motivation.
Your
for writing-
motivation
for writing
and
that
what
book?
what made you think of writing that book? Because it's not really like your other books.
Actually, it is. For those that have actually read the Invisible Enemy
A
series,
little more religiously.
well, actually,
Because I mean, do
Yeah.
I need to show?
actually, Dirty, this story is a updated, cleaned up version with all the religious stuff taken out of
Okay.
book 2.
All right.
Because it was such a great storyline in that book, it kind of got lost
Correct.
in a lot of the stuff that happened in book 1, and people were interested in book 2.
Right.
I think the stuff that I put in this fantasylover.com kind of went over the head of a lot of my readers because it was so outrageous.
Right.
I mean, if you ever want to get inside my head, it's a very scary place. Seriously.
I've had these conversations, and it is. it really is.
I'll tell you this: if you're in, and again, one of the reasons why I put people of different diversities on my cover is because I do not want to be labeled as an African American writer.
Right.
And unfortunately, most libraries tend to do that.
Mhm.
This is one reason why I am an indie publisher, because I can determine where I want my books to go and how I want them labeled. Okay?
Now, you say
Now-
indie publisher.
Right, indie publisher. Now, that being said, this book has witchcraft in it.
Okay.
It has shapeshifters in it, right? But guess what? So did Invisible Enemies and the whole Invisible Enemy series.
Right.
I've incorporated all of my craziness into these books, and like I said, because you got to remember, I grew up on the original Star Trek.
Right. I
And
remember.
all of that. I've always been totally totally into all of the sci-fi
Well, yeah,
stuff.
we've talked about sci-fi
Mhm,
and stuff.
exactly.
But let's get back to the indie publisher. So I remember, what made you decide to go indie?
As an African American, like I said, one of the things that I do is always research anything I'm getting ready to get into,
Mm-hmm.
which is why I'm doing all of this for when I'm getting ready to retire outside of the
Right.
U.S. I'm doing all my research. One of the things that in the process of getting this research, I've always been aware that traditional publishers, just like everything else in
Right.
America, unfortunately, they have their likes and their dislikes.
Mm-hmm.
And if your frame of mind or if your thinking process doesn't line up to theirs,
Correct.
they're not going to deal with it. A great example of that would be, let's see, I'm trying to think of a movie that a lot of people have actually saw and liked. And when the book came out, it was turned down by so many publishers. He ended up having to self-publish. So there's this book called, what's the name of that book? Crap. It was a Christian fiction book, but it was so
You talking about the Left Behind? It's not the
no,
Left Behind.
not The Shack.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness. Have you seen the movie?
No, but I mean,
You're
With-
familiar with the
with
book?
having family members in religion and all that,
Exactly.
they I've heard them talk about
Right.
the Shack.
The Shack is a fabulous book. It was written by two guys.
Right.
After they got finished writing it, they submitted it to traditional publishers and they got turned down.
Right.
So they decided to self-publish. Once they self-publish, or indie publishing.
Right.
I prefer the term indie publishing because unfortunately self-publishing has been tainted. It really has been. So
Right.
I like to use the term indie publisher. But once they went indie and published the book themselves, it just took off.
Right.
I mean, it was all over the place. They ended up selling. This is why I will not ever go back to a traditional publisher. So they ended up selling their book to a traditional publisher.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
When you sell your book to a traditional publisher, you're giving up all your rights.
Correct.
Okay. After the traditional publisher got the book and, they redid some things and put it back out there,
Right.
they ended up getting a movie deal for it. And so the original writers wanted in on
And
that.
they get nothing.
You get absolutely
Right.
nothing.
Exactly.
Because you've already terminated your rights when
Mhm.
you took that little bit of money.
That's it.
See what I'm saying? Right. And actually the movie was really pretty good. A lot of people,
I'll have to look it up.
a
The
lot
Shack?
of it was called The Shack.
Okay.
SHACK. And basically this is a story about a young man, a family on vacation,
Right.
and her little daughter comes up missing.
Yep.
And they find her dead.
Mhm.
A lot of evangelical Christians did not like it because in the book and also in the movie, God was portrayed as Olivia Spencer, the young lady from The Help that made the chocolate pie for her employer.
Get over it. Who
Right.
cares?
You know what I'm saying? Right.
Who cares?
But-
God says, God, we are made in God's image, so your God could be whatever color you want it to be.
Well, here's what I want
Get
you
over it.
Well, guess what, Dirty? Here's what I want you to think about. This is why I started my own indie publishing. This was a traditional evangelical
Right.
publishing company
Mhm.
that they submitted it to. I won't even mention the name because I don't want to embarrass you guys. And they turned it down.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And basically it was because the God in the book was actually portrayed as a black woman.
Right.
And
Okay.
they couldn't get with that.
So you say get away from the, you say you want to get your stuff out there and you want to make the money for yourself. For the people that would love to know how to do indie publishing, how hard is it?
It's very hard. And years ago, when I
Mhm.
first started this, because book one came out in 2010.
right.
I was working for the St. Louis Public Library at the time. I actually did a couple of seminars for how to publish your own book.
Right.
I'm gonna be real honest with you. It didn't quite work for me. One of my authors, she's actually if I mention her name, if you read a lot of Christian fiction, they will know who I'm discussing because not only is she an author, but she was an acquisition editor
Right.
at an urban fiction traditional publishing
Okay.
company. But so I had posted one day my fees on my website,
Right.
for those that were interested in me helping them, create a book. And she actually, I can't remember if she called me because we had actually spoken and
Uh-huh.
I had hooked her up with one of our book clubs at the library,
Right.
and she called in. It was really great. But she contacted me and she goes, "Why are you giving away your services?" Seriously. Okay,
Right,
I'm
yeah.
gonna give you a perfect example. For a nonfiction 100,000 word or less book,
Uh-huh.
I think I charged, I think it was $1,500. And if you needed me to ghostwrite it for you, which means you don't know how to write, but you've got a good story, you just want me to tell
Just
it,
dictate it.
I would. I think of the fee was $1,800. She was like, "Linda, I charge like 10 grand."
Right. Yeah.
I said, "I know." I said, "But can I tell you, here in St. Louis, these people are bitching about this." So you know what, Dirty? It became such a distraction
Right.
trying to help other people
Mhm.
that I just stopped doing it.
Yeah.
You know,
Which I can see that.
yeah.
But like,
Dirty knows how I am. Get on my nerves, you got to go.
but like with us, we're very resourceful, so we go to YouTube a lot to
Right.
find stuff.
Exactly.
So I mean, I'm sure there are good videos. So go to YouTube
Oh, it's
about self-publishing.
especially now because,
Right.
like I said, when I started in 2010, that was.
Mhm.
Here's what's scary about that. That was 9 years ago.
I know, right?
Right.
I mean, technically, really, the first smartphone came out in 2007.
Yes,
with the
exactly.
iPhone.
Right. And see, and with that technology, that's why the indie or self-publishing took off.
Right,
Because
exactly.
then you didn't have to deal with the traditional publisher. What I absolutely loved about it, because I'm a huge Stephen King fan. I've
Right.
been reading Stephen King since I was in my 20s. So we're talking well over 40 years, right? But they actually started self-publishing or indie
Yeah, he
publishing
did.
their own work.
He
Exactly.
did. A lot of
Because
his
here's one of the biggest reasons I've always been a fan over indie publishing over traditional publishing.
Mhm.
So say for instance, I want this book that I'm currently working on.
Right.
I can submit that to them. They'll approve it. Then they have like 150 vice presidents that it has to go through all
Right.
the channels. It might, once they decide, okay, this is what we'll do. We'll take we'll purchase this. We'll send you a little royalty check, and I'm going to make sure you remind me to explain how that works. And we'll get the book out, but the book won't be out until about 18 months.
Right. Yeah.
I can release a book, Dirty. You were gone for what, 1 week?
1 week, and then I was sick for the following week.
Right.
You had it.
About, I'd say, I have been on and off kind of dealing
on
with
and
it.
off,
Right.
because you would throw ideas on
Exactly.
me about it and stuff
Right.
like that. So I mean, I would say maybe you probably were working on it maybe 6 weeks.
Exactly.
And then
a lot of that was just like I mentioned on Facebook. I don't
Yeah.
know if you saw the post when I said I'm so distracted because I had gotten away from it.
Right,
And
yeah.
see, this again, this is something that they warn you about. If you are a writer, you can't just
Right.
stop. You got to keep doing it.
exactly.
Another thing that blew me away was I have a fantastic young lady. She does all my formatting for me for my Kindle books, and
Right.
also for my. And when I say formatting, she puts the characters, the chapters in there,
Right, yeah.
the page settings, and all that. So when she submitted the file back for me, so that I can go ahead and upload it to KDP Direct, I text her back and I said, where is my document? You sent this as an HTML document. And that's basically like the code
Right. Yeah.
for anything on the internet.
Right.
I'm like, girl, I need, usually she sends me back a Word document, or for Kindle, it's actually what we call a Mobi
Right.
extension. So while I was waiting for her to respond back, I'm on Google going, what the hell? It is Amazon accepting this. And guess what? Amazon was accepting it. I said, oh my God, have I been away this long? So I told her, I said, hold on, let me go ahead and upload it, see what happens. So,
Right.
because when that's why I didn't get a chance to call you back, because I had uploaded it and I was checking to see if it went through. They give you a little, a viewer
Right.
once you upload it so that you can look at it, and it shows what it looks like on a tablet,
Right.
what it looks like on a phone, and what it looks like on your a PC. And it looked fabulous, just like everything else this wonderful young lady does for me. And I told her, I said, girl, not only did it just have no problems, I uploaded it without a problem. Here's an extra $5 for you.
There you go.
I always have to tip my people when they do a good job.
Right. Yeah.
She is really fantastic.
You want to give her a plug?
Oh, nope.
You gotta keep it
Nope.
to yourself.
Absolutely. She's part of my production team, my formatter, and also my book cover creator.
There you go.
Absolutely. No, I do not reveal my sources, darling.
Can you believe we've been actually sitting here for almost a half an hour?
Can you believe that?
It's amazing how I got
Absolutely.
you to open up, ain't it?
You always do. and he's doing that because him and I have another girlfriend. They're always bragging about my books, and I'm not just one to, I'll mention that I've
But
got
no,
a
because
book
you
out
always
there.
want me to talk about the XFL, the talk show, and I'm like, no, today's about Linda. We're doing the first half an hour on Linda. You released your book. You
I'm
go
very
to
happy with it.
Amazon.com. We posted it on our One Universal
Right.
Facebook page, our One Nation Network page. You go to Amazon.com.
Right.
Go follow that link. It'll send you right to Linda's book, FantasyLover.com. Go check it out. It's free for the first, you said 3
I think
days.
it's like 3 or 4 days,
It's- yeah,
starting
so-
tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow.
Right.
It's free.
So what you want to do in the meantime is just go ahead. If you don't have a Kindle, I'm sorry, Amazon, but do not pay for a Kindle. I have
We
always,
can get the Kindle app.
I've always used the Kindle app. Here, let me show
I mean,
you.
do they even sell Kindles really anymore?
Actually, they have actually declined.
Right, because
You know
of the
why?
Kindle app.
Look, here we go.
Right, yeah. You just go right there to the Kindle
Right.
app.
I don't know if you guys can see it
Yeah.
on my screen. Let me.
Yeah, you just go
pull it
right
up.
to the Kindle app.
Okay, let me go through. I have a VPN on my phone, so bear with me.
She's got like 7 phones.
I know, right?
It's ridiculous trying to call her. It's ridiculous
Okay,
trying to call her. See, you go
So,
right to the
right.
Kindle app.
So see that, and it's got all my. There's my latest book because I always download a copy of my book.
Yeah.
Once I publish it, just to see how it looks, and also other books that I have on my Kindle. The great thing about doing this is part of your phone, so you don't have to worry about losing it because it's on your phone.
Exactly.
And I probably have about 30 books on this Kindle Dirty.
Right, yeah. Oh, I know.
Exactly.
I know. All right, so make sure you go check out Linda's new book, FantasyLover.com on Amazon. You could go right there. If you don't want to type in FantasyLover.com, just type in Linda Brown or Spoken Word Press on Amazon. You're going to find it. You'll find all of her books.
Absolutely.
I would recommend going because you got a new fan with Kylie.
Yep.
Which is actually one of our sponsors. He's like, I just typed that right in there. Kylie's Unicorn Pros with Kylie on Facebook. You know, right there. Go to Amazon, support Linda. Because by you guys supporting Linda, it supports us at One Nation Network TV, and it supports One Universal Productions. So it's one big thing. Linda, you know who else is one of our sponsors?
Who is that, honey?
Your favorite one in the world.
Yes. We have been dogging you out on Facebook. Have you seen that?
Yes.
I love it.
iCasey with 3 Ys live on Twitch. Go check him out. I got to get the lazy bum to start really streaming. He'll stream every now and then, but just go follow him on Twitch. It's iCasey with 3 Ys on Twitch.
And again, for if you have young kids that love that Fortnite.
Yeah.
Because
he plays the Fortnite. He plays the NBA 2K. He plays the
Exactly.
Smite. He plays all that stuff.
You know, Dirty, we should probably get him in here because they were talking about they just did something with Fortnite. They made some changes to it.
He plays another one. That's another new one.
So if you're concerned that your kids might be talking or chatting or online with the wrong people, switch them over to Casey.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
This is his dad. Trust me, he's not going to do anything wrong.
And then we got one of our most favorite sponsors, Grocery Bags with the Z.com.
Absolutely.
Go there for all of your spice needs, everything. And if you mention us, you get a discount, and they are also partnered with Omaha Steaks. So go to grocerybags.com with the Z. And I'm proud to announce that we have 2 new sponsors.
Awesome.
Here at One Nation Network TV.
Okay.
One which is actually really near that I actually just found out about.
Okay.
Through the XFL STL page, which she's a sponsor for One Universal altogether and stuff like that. And what she does is she makes pins.
Right.
So let me show you. She makes pins right here.
Oh yeah, I didn't get my pen.
You did. I put the. You got that one.
Throws me a pen, guys.
But I got you. I put the one on the fridge.
Oh, you sure did.
But that's all right. Take the pin.
Okay.
But what this lady does is her name is Marshall Woodland, and what she does is she makes pins, and she doesn't sell them. She asks for donations.
Right.
So, and basically what it is, it's Operation End Homeless Mission. Her mission is to help those in need with rent mortgage payments of $500 for 3 to 12 months, and the resources to help get their lives back on track. You could visit her website for the details on how this nonprofit will do and what it is needed to get some more help and people in homes. You can also see her plans and the venues that she uses that they're paying for, all of that stuff. You can contact Marshall Woodland at 314-243-6034 to stand up for a change. Again, the website is www.endhomelessmission.org. Go check her out, please, and go donate and buy a button. And we're going to talk a little more about her because she's going to be joining us on some upcoming shows.
Right.
And one of our newer sponsors that we just got, Linda, is this one.
Creatively Speaking, a weekly show designed with creatives in mind, featuring 30-minute interviews with authors, writers, publishers, playwrights, screenwriters, artists, speakers, actors, filmmakers, healers, stylists, musicians, ministers, business owners, and just about anyone who creates anything but chaos. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 9:30 a.m. Pacific Time at blogtalkradio.com/creatively speaking or call 619-924-0961.
Is that nice?
Creative.
Oh, I hit it wrong.
That is so nice.
Right?
That is my good friend, Luana Helena, who is the CEO and the host of Creatively Speaking.
Yes.
So for all of you authors or musicians, artists that need promotion, you guys need to check her out. There's no charge. She does a fantastic show. You heard her voice.
Beautiful voice.
Is that not a beautiful voice, Dirty?
Beautiful voice.
Dirty, she is the voiceover narrator for all three of my books
That
in the
is true.
Invisible Enemy series.
That is true.
Yes, this woman is phenomenal.
And with that said,
You know,
we're going to take a quick little
Okay.
break. Go to Amazon.com right now. Look up fantasylover.com. Go to our pages. The link is on there. Go get the book. It's free for a week. And with that being said, Linda, I'm going to take us a little back old school with the funk because I know you
All right.
love.
you know I do.
I know you love the funk, Linda. So listen, Foundation Network TV. With that being said, we will be welcome back to One Nation Network TV. I am Dirty, and right up there along the top, you see you could call us in at 314-920-3736, or you can Skype us. We have Skype now, Linda,
Yes,
at
we
One
do.
Universal Production.
Exactly. So even though I'm no longer assisting people with writing their books, if you have any questions, if you're thinking about writing a book, you have any questions, you want to call in to 314-920-3736. I'll be more than happy to try to answer some of your
Yeah,
questions.
at least you'll steer them in the right
Absolutely,
direction.
absolutely, yeah.
You know, so
Because you know what, Dirty, just like I was telling you about the XFL, it's enough out here when you are a content creator.
correct.
There's no reason to get hating.
I like
There's
your
no
hair
reason.
tonight.
You like that? Oh,
I
thank
do.
you. There's no reason
Looks all
to.
spongy.
Yeah, I know, right?
You look like a chia pet.
Really? Seriously?
You don't remember? You don't remember when the hair started growing in on some of them?
Really? A chia pet? Okay. He better be glad I like him. Okay.
No, I loved them because I would style it.
Oh my
Like
god!
I had the Mr. T.
You had the Mr. T chia pet.
Yeah, and it was cool as hell.
Pitiful.
But yours looks way better.
Well,
I do
thank
like
you.
that hairstyle.
Thank you.
I like the scarf,
exactly
all that stuff. All right, go back to what you were
This
saying.
is my laid back Linda look when I have this on.
Is that what it is?
Right, because you know what? I've been so busy with this book.
You have.
Like I said, we haven't even really been talking on the phone because, like I said, we talk about 3 or 4 times a day. Like, and I don't mean 5-minute conversations. I mean, like, 20, 30, 40-minute
Right. Well, then work is,
conversations.
and work has picked up for me too because
Right.
of the it's October.
Exactly.
And, I do want to say that the respiratory RSV is getting back, people.
Right.
So if you feel like you're getting sick or something, please go to your doctor.
Right.
Because I mean, I see it every day, and it's something that will take you out, and
Mhm.
it sucks and it's very painful. So go, please. You feel like you're starting to get the flu-like symptoms, please go see your doctor
Absolutely.
and catch it early.
Did you go get a flu shot?
I didn't.
Okay.
I was just at my doctor. Okay.
She didn't make you take one?
No, but I had that spot cut out on my elbow.
Okay, so you had a cyst,
I had a cyst.
Lance, I think is the
I didn't have it
proper.
lanced. I had to have it cut out.
Oh my goodness. Woo.
So I
Okay.
have a hole in my elbow, and
Oh.
I have stitches.
Okay.
So I got. If you notice, the way I've been sitting on my elbow, it kind of hurts if I
Okay.
sit the wrong way.
Exactly.
So I had that cut out.
Okay.
What is today? Yesterday.
You had it cut out yesterday?
What is today?
Tuesday.
God, these weeks just fly by.
Tell me about it.
But yeah, I had it cut out no. Yeah. Had it cut out yesterday. Jesus, I'm getting old.
Poor baby,
I know,
and he's only in his 40s,
I'm
right?
getting old, man.
Ah.
Yeah, I had it cut out yesterday, so.
Right. Like to give a shout out to, looks like I have my cousin online, Irvin Howard III, Nell Watts is on here, Lisha Sandler,
Thank
and
you guys for joining
Venice
us.
L. Bryant. What's up, Mr. Venice? I saw that looks like you've got your food truck up and going. Again, if you want to chat about it or if you want to shout out so that we can help you promote it, just give us a call at Skype at One Universal Production, or should send us a message on the chat line.
Yeah, because if you really want to look at me, I mean, my face is ugly, so I'd feel really bad for you if you're looking at me on Skype. It would suck to be you.
Listen to him. Okay.
But Linda, we have another big announcement.
Okay. All righty.
We are partnering up with the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Eastern Missouri.
Right.
So that's kind of exciting news.
That is very exciting.
Parties.
You know what? Because Dirty, we had been looking for some type of a place to volunteer.
Yeah.
Or to, for sure help promote whatever it is that
Right,
they're doing.
exactly.
So next week we have one of somebody that I actually grew up with.
Yep.
And she is actually, she works with Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and she's also one of Dirty's hugest fans. She loves that XFL STL talk show that we do here on Wednesdays. And I'm talking about my good friend, if you're a personal friend of mine on Facebook, I am talking about Miss Linda Robinson. We all know this is one of the sweetest women that I have ever known in my life.
Well,
I mean,
she's
just so
let's give her
sweet.
a little more. She is the director of volunteer recruiting.
is she?
Recruitment
Okay, all right. You
for
found it?
Big
Okay.
Brothers and Big Sisters of Eastern Missouri. And so we are going to be talking to her at one of your new favorite places,
Right.
which is where?
Which is actually, it's called OR Juices and Smoothies.
Yep.
And it's located on Clayton Road in the very same plaza where the Schnucks is.
Yep.
Right before you get to Esquire Theater. And this is, and believe it or not, Linda's brother, Mark, is the chef.
Yes.
So this is like a family. I was in there the other day. Oh, my goodness. Because we're going to be interviewing Linda.
Yep.
And one of her friends or somebody from the Big Brothers Big Sister.
Yep.
I think his name is Mark.
I think
do we
that's
have
what
that
she
on
said.
there?
Yeah.
Okay. And Dirty, now just to show you how we think alike, okay? And it was so funny because Linda ended up, while we were talking, Linda ended up hitting me up on Facebook.
Right,
She sent me a message. So I was telling Dirty, I said, she's a member she volunteers with Big Brothers Big Sisters. I said, so we're going to have her on the show starting on next week. And so Dirty goes, wow, that would be a great organization for the Battlehawks to get behind and maybe sponsor.
Yep.
My mouth dropped. Because I said that would be so freaking fantastic. And Dirty we know he's on first name basis with, everybody at the XFL, STL. And I would actually love to, if you can get that very, very hot quarterback.
Oh, God, Jordan.
Yes. Or the coach. And so
Big Coach Hayes.
Exactly. So Dirty, he reached out to them to see if they would be interested in working with and possibly sponsoring Big Brothers Big Sisters. So this is what we do,
right? Exactly. And kind of like with the End Homeless Mission,
exactly
.org,
right?
On it's one of our things when we started One Nation, it was to bring people together,
right?
And then we combined everything into one universal production.
Exactly.
And it's we just want to help people live their dream.
Exactly.
We will help them in any which way that we can,
right,
to get them to live their dream.
Exactly.
And one of the things that I like about what we're going to talk to Linda about next week is the Big Responders. So the Big Responders is the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Eastern Missouri incentive focus on recruiting volunteers, big brothers, big sisters, big couples, and families who work as first responders to be adult mentors to the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Eastern America between the youth ages of 5 to 17.
Okay.
By first, they match up first responder responsibilities as EMTs, firefighters, law enforcement, military service members with young people as one-to-one mentors. And it's to help build trust.
Okay.
Build strong, trusting, enduring relationships between first responders and youth and family. And right there at the bottom, you see it says right there, for more information, contact the Director of Volunteer Recruitment, Linda Robinson, at 314-633-0024. So, Linda,
right,
that's kind of some of the stuff that me and you have talked about. And actually, I have a friend of mine that I used to work with.
Okay, for some reason, my camera is very blurry. It looks great over there. You should see it on my laptop.
It's probably because you're watching the feed, because that's the live feed there.
Okay.
So it's probably because you're watching it.
But it's very blurry.
I mean,
I do it every week.
I'm watching it over here. It looks good on mine.
Okay, come over here. Come.
Well, then I have to get up.
I know.
All right, hold on.
Hold on.
I'm going to check Linda out. We'll be right back.
Exactly.
Phone is hot now.
Okay.
We are back. We just had some technical difficulties. When you're streaming live,
right,
and you're on laptops and you're on that kind of stuff, things happen.
Oh,
and it uses a lot of power.
Right. Speaking of power, Dirty, you did hear that California, unfortunately, suffered
Yes.
another.
We're going to talk about that because
Yeah.
that's crazy.
And apparently they think it's from the power. But think about it. Even in my house, when I have the grandkids over,
yeah.
and everybody's online, it's
Yeah.
like, oh my, we don't think about that.
I know, right?
Right.
Well, it's nuts because it's funny that you say that because have you noticed lately that internet service has been slowing down
Yep.
for a lot of people?
Right.
And here's one thing that I saw right here, Linda, that I do want to talk about because you know how this is dear and near to my heart with children.
Okay.
Another thing that these guys do here, it's eat a lunch, learn a brunch.
Oh, okay.
Big Brothers and Big Sisters
Right.
of Eastern Missouri. So let me get to that real quick. So there it is. And it's select your date plus email.
Right.
And then there's you see everything like that. It says we treat you and at least 10 other guests who are interested in learning how to become a big to learn lunch or an enticing snack. So this is the thing, man. We really need to, because I just saw on Facebook the other day, which really pissed me off, Linda,
Okay.
is that a lot of schools are taking away the free lunch for kids.
And shaming these kids because if their parents owe them money, they're shaming the kids.
Exactly. Now, I mean, these are children. Unfortunately,
Sad.
these are a way a lot of these kids get to eat.
Exactly.
The only way they get to eat.
Exactly.
When I was younger and me and my first wife were together,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't make a whole lot of money. My kids were on free lunches.
Okay.
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 So it's just,
And Dirty has 4 kids, so that's understandable.
but
Or 6 altogether now.
right.
The Brady Bunch.
I don't understand why we have to do this to these children.
I don't. Dirty. It seems like you said, you mentioned this a couple months ago. Lack of humanity.
Right.
Because not only are we dealing with that situation, which again, in the 61 years I've been on this planet, this is the first time I've heard about adults mistreating kids and not feeding them.
Right.
And let's talk about, and I know we're going to try to keep it light, but notice how since we've moved on to the impeachment, we're not talking about the kids that are in the cages anymore.
No, we're
What
not.
happened to them?
Well, it's like we always say, you distract us.
You
For one
absolutely
thing.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
but I mean, come on, man.
I
And,
know.
and that's a good way is that what the Big Brothers and Big Sisters is doing is by helping get free lunches, get lunches to these children.
Right.
So we're going to talk more in depth with Linda.
Mhm.
And what was her brother's name was?
Her brother's name is the chef. His name is Mark Robinson over at the OR Smoothies and Juices and Smoothies.
And if I'm not
located
mistaken,
in Clayton Road.
that might be the first new episode.
Of the new Sunday brunch.
Exactly.
We're actually going to kind of combine it
right.
because we're going to start. I talked to Linda today, and you and I had talked, and
Right.
and we're waiting just to hear back from the Battlehawks to see if they could have somebody come over.
Yeah.
But what I'd like to do, because again we were talking about just combining it, is to do maybe the first half hour next Tuesday,
Uh-huh.
where we'll talk to Linda.
Right.
And
Talk
we'll
to the
talk
Big Brothers.
to the Big Brothers and Big
Big
Sisters.
Sisters.
And then for the second half an hour, we'll go ahead and go back into we're going to show the restaurant.
Right.
And then go in the back and watch Mark prepare
Right. And it's going to be a lot.
the
I mean,
salad that
right.
he makes. Oh, he made me the salad. I actually, I did it. I didn't do it intentionally, but I kind of challenged him.
right.
I said, I purchased a smoothie because, I always like to purchase stuff.
Right.
Whenever,
Yeah.
We don't try to get in there and just take advantage of you
No.
and not pay. We're going to always go in there and support you financially.
Right.
But so I went in there and I got a smoothie, and I told him, I said, well, there's another vegan place that I really like. It's in South City, right by the Botanical Garden. It's
Right.
called the Sweetheart,
Yep.
and right off of 39th Street, if I'm not mistaken. I told him, I said, they have a hamburger that's actually made with mushrooms. That is so good.
Now, it doesn't have meat, so it doesn't taste like a hamburger.
Oh, yes, it does.
It tastes like a mushroom
will
made into a hamburger.
you slap somebody. That's just how good it is. Okay. And then I told her, I said, then they also have a kale salad.
Right, yeah.
It's sweet and it's so good.
Which that's what he made for you.
So he said, oh, well, let me show you the salad that we have. And he went back in the back and it took him like maybe 5-10 minutes.
Right.
And he came back and I'm looking at it with these noodles in there. I sent you a picture.
You did. It's huge.
Oh my God. I'm going to definitely put a review on Yelp, Dirty, when I got home. Now, half the smoothie was, of course, drank on my way home.
Yeah, exactly.
When I got home, I let the cat out, let him in, then we got back in. I opened up that, and he gave me these 2 little sauces to.
You called me, and it sounded like
I did call him.
I was like,
I'm smacking.
I'm like, what are you? It's the way you're just going, oh, and I'm like, are you okay over there? And you're like, oh God, Dirty, you should try this salad. But that's going to be the new format of Sunday brunch. Is basically we're going to be going out. You're going to be reviewing local restaurants.
Right, exactly.
And at the same time, because of what your Sunday brunch show is, you're going to be sitting down talking with people over food about issues.
See, and that's what I would love to do. And if I, and like you said, I would like to do it at different restaurants so that way people get a taste of St. Louis.
Right.
Right. And I would like to get a core group of women, you know, since it is Sunday brunch, very diverse,
right,
to talk about issues.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, send me an email at sundaybrunchwithlinda@gmail.com. If you want to be a part of that,
right,
you know, it's something that we haven't quite figured out the day that we'll be able to tape. You know,
yeah. I mean, I know that this one will kind of be the first one.
Exactly. So we'll kind of use this as a prototype.
Yeah, because you said you didn't want to do it really live anymore because you wanted to do it a little more. You wanted to expand it more.
Yeah.
And cut it in. So
exactly. So we'll go out and do just like what we're going to do. Well, this one's going to be live next Tuesday.
Yeah, this one will be live, and then we'll cut it up and then put it out on the first episode of Sunday Brunch.
There you go.
On Sunday Brunch.
And that's
on Facebook.
So I could take advantage of him and Cameron. Have we talked to Cameron?
Cameron has been very, very busy with his new job. So I have talked to him a few times.
If you are an intern, if you're interested in learning how to work on a online station like we have, we're looking for interns.
Yeah.
You know, we can't pay you. But look at the experience that you'll get.
Right, exactly.
You know, and if we ever get to the point where we're making money, we can pay you.
Right, yeah. So now let's get to the Dallas thing. Because, I mean, gee, we've already been going for almost an hour.
I know, right? Dirty. So did the storm, because, you know, not only did we have it in Dallas, but it also tornado hit Springfield, Missouri.
Right. Yeah. It's funny because we were talking. Because you said we're always going to try to throw in one conspiracy,
right?
The show, right?
Right.
You're more of the religious conspiracy than I am.
Oh, right.
I just think it's karma saying, "Hey, here's what you get."
I know that's
for being a bitch.
Okay, this is what he's talking about on the drive down. And he's right. I will always kind of look at things from a biblical perspective.
I'm just saying, karma's a bitch.
And I agree with you. I said, now, Dirty, don't you think it's strange that we had the Amber Geiger trial?
Mm-hmm.
Then the star witness was gunned down. Then we had another woman that was shot dead inside of her home while playing video games with her 8-year-old nephew and taking care of her mom.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a tornado that basically decimated Dallas.
But it didn't hurt the stadium.
Are you serious?
I hate that stadium.
Wow. But I'm like you, karma. You can call
Karma's
it karma.
A bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, now, is there anything correlation? Yeah, if you ask Linda, listen, that's what the good Lord's telling you.
Trying to tell you.
He's telling you it's time to quit being a bitch, quit being, so evil and mean to everybody.
Yep.
And in me, I'm like, hey, man, maybe you shouldn't be such an ass because look what happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, if you really look at it, it really does all kind of – it does kind of seem how – I mean, you know me, I hate Pat Robinson. Okay. Well, I don't hate people that I don't know. I just kind of – I think they're hilarious.
Well, Linda, God destroyed Haiti because of their warlock and
that's
voodoo
exactly,
magic.
Now look. Okay.
Now you know he's good for saying stuff.
Yeah,
like
I know
that.
he's real good
Him
at
and,
saying. And then how
Franklin Graham.
Right, how the AIDS epidemic that's what's gonna kill all the homosexuals and their sodomy and of each other, all of that stuff. Okay, look.
Thanks for keeping it non-controversial, Dirty.
I'll make fun of him all the time.
He is
Pat Robinson. He's about 2 shades of a mongoloid.
Oh my goodness, it's just really scary.
But I mean, look, however you want to look at it, I look at it like this, you know.
Okay.
Just don't be an ass.
Right.
Why you gotta be asses to people? You know what I'm saying? That's what happens.
But remember, Dirty, because remember, I know you know the word.
Right.
It's said towards the end, in the end times.
I know. Here she goes.
Yep. Good is going to be considered
preach.
evil, and evil is going to be considered good. Is that not where we are?
That's exactly.
Hello.
That's exactly what it is.
So for those of you that don't believe in a word, just have a talk with me. I'll sit you down and show you that a lot of what he is saying is right in there. But the sad thing that upsets me is that a lot of the pastors aren't teaching the things that they need to be teaching.
Right, exactly.
See, they're teaching the stuff that they consider easy stuff.
Right,
You
yeah.
know? Right. Because I actually, when I did an interview with the Invisible Enemy books, I remember somebody asking me, Linda, we have a loving God, a God that loves us, and a lot of this stuff that you have in this book, it's like a God that wants to destroy us. I said, sweetheart, when's the last time you read the word?
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I said, because especially in the Old Testament,
Right.
if you walked into if the Hebrew Israelites walked into a land that was full of those giants, you know, there's an Anunnaki giants that we all watch on the History Channel for the UFO, ancient aliens, right? He told them go in there and kill everything. Did he not say that?
Oh yeah.
Look, mothers, kids, the babies, the animals, the cows, dog, kill everything.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Because if you're not obedient, if you don't know how to treat people, and another thing that I tell people too, Dirty, is this: because whenever I actually had a so-called friend contact me not too long ago, and they were like, "What are you up to?" So I said, hope he's not listening. I said, I just released a book. I'm waiting for it to go live on Amazon so I can go ahead and start promoting it. And he goes, "You're always doing something." Well, here's the thing. If you're not doing anything, because this is not the first time I've heard this. If you're so comfortable with your everyday life, where all you're doing is just getting up, going to work, going home, spazzing out in front of the TV, crawling to bed, going to sleep, getting up and doing it all over again, and that's okay for you.
Right.
What are you good for?
Right. Exactly. What are you good for?
Right. You're not allowing.
You're good for nothing.
You're not allowing yourself to be used by him or the powers that be or whatever you look at to do something good for people. Now, one of the reasons why I started my books is because, you know, one of the reasons why I started my spoken word press company and started writing books, Dirty.
Why?
Because I wanted to leave a legacy for my family.
Right.
And I mean my immediate family, my son, my grandbabies, you know, their kids. You know, if I'm gone, I'm 61. If 40 years from now I'm no longer here, you can still get my books on Amazon. You can still know what I was thinking about and my thought process by reading my books.
Right,
So
exactly.
So I have left a little bit of Linda on the planet for you to either enjoy, ridicule, or whatever you want to do. But I'm there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. So he knows that he can use me.
Right, yeah. So, you know, Jesus, we've been an hour.
It's 8:18.
I know, right?
Stop at 8:30.
Huh?
Want to stop at 8:30?
Well, no, I have this great little article that's going to end us right here.
Oh, okay.
Because, you know, we did a little bit of negative.
Right.
Now we're going to do a little bit of positive.
Okay.
And this kind of shows what One Nation Network is about, and this is done.
Did you have? Make sure you show our fair usage.
That's
first.
what I'm getting ready to
Yeah,
show
'cause-
right now as
Right.
we speak. But, you know, Linda, we always talk about how people perceive everybody,
Right.
correct?
Uh-huh.
And how we look at people and how we demonize people
Yep,
all the time,
yep.
correct?
Yep. Exactly.
But this is a very nice and interesting story that I like right here. And the views and opinions shared in some of the videos created by One Universal Productions do not necessarily represent the views and opinions of the Lease of Us Fair Use Act copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. And guess what? We are non-for-profit. We ain't making any damn money.
Right.
So,
And
very
we're
simple.
okay with that.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And this
right?
comes from Fox 5, I don't know, in North Carolina.
Okay.
So let me read it. It's a heartwarming moment, went viral on social media when a high school freshman's sister tweeted out a call to action hoping to make her younger brother feel more welcome,
Oh.
which is when a group of upperclassmen stepped in. Nobody would eat lunch with him. Were the words from Caleb, is that Ween, Wrenn?
Okay, Wayne, yeah.
Ween texted his older sister, Leah, when she asked about his first day as a freshman at Reedsville School in North Carolina. I sat alone at lunch and got lost 3 times, he said. He wasn't having a good day. Looking out for her younger brother, Leah took a screenshot of the conversation and posted it to her Twitter, where it quickly went viral, gaining more than 80,000 likes.
Wow.
This is what social media is
It's
supposed
about.
to be used
Exactly.
for. It's
Right.
not about going on there and bullying these kids
Exactly.
because they have no way to defend themselves
Exactly.
and they can't get away with it. You're nothing but a keyboard warrior piece of POS. Get over it.
Right.
So she retweeted to let my little brother know how cool he is cool before I had to pull up to RHS, she wrote.
Okay.
After the tweet blew up on social media, some upperclassmen took notice and decided to show Caleb what it means to be a true friend. Student athletes from the school's football team surprised Caleb and had lunch with him in the cafeteria, getting to know him, making him feel welcomed in the new and intimidating environment. The team's football Twitter account then posted a photo of some of the players posing with Caleb, saying that he felt out of place and thought nobody wanted to eat with him because of his height.
Oh, isn't that crazy?
It keeps going on and on and on.
Right.
But here is the article here is the video about this, and this is to show you.
Spectrum Mobile has
I don't
no
want to give Spectrum Mobile anything, but it looks like I'm going to, ain't it, Linda?
Right.
This is just to show you guys, and here you go. And this is exactly what One Nation Network is about, what One
Absolutely.
Universal Productions about. It's stuff like that.
Exactly.
That's what you're going to be seeing more from us.
Right.
And as our boy Prince Adu says, labels are only labels. If we get rid of the labels,
Right.
life would be so much a better place and we would all love each other.
And guess what? Be like me. Think outside the box. I'm so weird, you can't even label me. And I love that. You know, I was actually, before we started, I told Dirty I was watching one of my favorite movies, Fright Night, the remake, you know, because I'm a huge David Tennant fan. And for those of you that used to watch Doctor Who, you know, he was my favorite doctor.
Oh, what am I going to do?
And I told Dirty, I said, you know what, Dirty, as this movie was going off, I was sitting at home just chilling. And then they played the song by a group called, what's the name of that group? The 99 Problems.
99 Problems,
That
but
a
a bitch
bitch
ain't
ain't
one
one.
by Jay-Z, baby.
Well, that actually
Well,
wasn't
he
Jay-Z.
originally wrote
Right.
it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, Jay-Z
Oh, okay.
originally wrote
Well,
that.
it's a white group that sang it.
Yeah, I
like the
know.
Edge
They
or something.
remade it.
I love that. I've been playing it
Yeah.
over and over. So I played it for Dirty. He looked at me, he goes, oh, 99 Problems and a bitch,
Bitch
ain't
ain't
one, huh? Like, and I told him, I said, this is me all my life. We used to listen to all kind of stuff growing up.
Right.
You know, KSHE,
Yeah.
90, Joy Radio, what is that, 91.9 or something like that. Don't put me in a box just because you think that you know who I am because you see the outside of me. There are so many different strands of Linda Brown that I can't even write how many things that are just inside of me that just want to come out, that are just some of the weird
Right,
things,
exactly.
you know? But that was a great way to end the show. And again, I like to shout out to my boy Seabiscuit, who actually sent me a message. It was so funny. I was sending out shout outs to you guys.
I know. I
He's such
saw.
a hater. He is such a hater. Oh my goodness.
And with that being said, this is One Nation Network TV. I am Dirty. Sitting right across from me is the one, the only, the best-selling author and new author of a new book on Amazon and Kindle, fantasylover.com. Go check it out. The one, the only.
Linda B. And that's actually Linda D. Brown on Amazon.
That's why I had you say it.
LYNDA, D for the middle issue, and Brown for the cover.
And next week, come out and join us.
Right.
Come out and join us. We're doing a live spot. So please come out and join us at.
Well, you know what? Before we give that out, let's kind of.
You're gonna contact them?
Yep. I want to contact them, see how much space we might have. We might just have enough room if she just wants to have her family there. Or,
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's not a really big place.
Okay. Again,
And,
Dirty opened his mouth like an idiot, so that's typical. But that's just me.
That's okay. This is what you have me for.
I know, right?
Your older partner that kind of knows how to do things a little differently.
I know.
But yeah, once we hear back from the Battlehawks about who might be able to come out,
exactly.
and then I'll go by and talk to Mark again and make sure that he can make that wonderful salad again so that we can taste it on the air.
Hey, maybe we can see if we get Jordan because of Kale and him being from Hawaii.
Absolutely, yes.
And all that. You never know.
We'll definitely see if he can make enough. Because the salad that I have, Dirty, I showed you when you picked me up.
She's still got it in her fridge.
I still have some left.
She's a nut job.
So we can all just kind of taste it. It was so good. Again, if you live in the Richmond Heights, Clayton, U-City area, you got to check out. Let me pull it up on here. I'm going to give them a quick shout out if you don't mind. OR juices and smoothies. So I can tell you exactly where it's located. Richmond Heights, believe it or not, again, that's our old hood. No, I didn't grow up in the city. I actually grew up in Richmond Heights, right down the street from the Richmond Heights Police Department on Dale Avenue. This is actually located at 6654 Clayton Road in the Richmond Heights area.
It doesn't matter. Just go support the dude.
Oh, and trust me, Dirty, they constantly had people coming in as I was there.
I know, you were telling me.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, great smoothie. Oh, you got to check them out.
You were telling me. With that being said, we will see you guys next week. We have a special guest, Linda Robinson from the Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Eastern Missouri. And then we have her brother of Orange.
OR.
Smooth
Juices and Smoothies.
Juicy and Smoothies on tomorrow's show.
Next Tuesday show.
That's
He said tomorrow's show.
Oh, did I? Oh, yeah. And tomorrow we have the MMWA Wrestling Talk Show from 6:30 to 8. After that, we have the XFL STL Talk Show all right here on Facebook. You know where to find us. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And, hey, just be kind. Love one another. That's all we're saying.
Just say hi.
That's right.
Doesn't cost you anything.
We're gone.
All right. Night, guys.